I mean, Hetty, don't be such a tease, you say to your friend. Tell me. Hetty flashes her trademark grin, removes a rolled up magazine from her coat, and hands it to you. Here, but you can't tell a soul. You look at the front cover that reads Vogue, March 1931, Early Paris Collection. This is your big secret, you say? A fashion magazine? Hey, it's not just any fashion magazine, it's Vogue. And I worked hard for that. Nicked off Miss Request's coffee table while babysitting last night. Then the brat kid of hers caught me stashing it in my bag and made me play 5 games of checkers with him to keep his trap shut. You flip through the pages, unimpressed. Women really wear this stuff in Europe? Nuts, you say. Hetty snatches the magazine from your hands. What do you know, Ruthie? You're a girl who wears a fedora. Who do you think you are? Al Capone? Very funny, you say. I'll be laughing all the way to the bank when Vogue gets me on the horn to ask for my fashion advice. It's only a matter of time before ladies everywhere are togged to the bricks in a fedora. Hetty rolls her eyes and returns the magazine to her coat. If your look is so snazzy, how come the only boy who's kissed you is that midget, Billy Stein? That boy belongs in a circus. Now, Hetty, you dead wrong for that. That was so disrespectful to him. You rude. I don't like you. Hetty, that's an awful thing to say. It's not his fault he's so short for his age. He's nice. Hetty's mischievous smile fades to a dark, menacing grin. Yes, nice, she says flatly. We are who we are, Ruthie. Puzzled by Hetty's comment, you turn away and then notice that two of you have wandered into the town's public square. Night is falling, and the moon is casting shadows of the old brick well that sits in the middle of the square. You hear the drip drip of water trickling down from the hanging bucket. It's suddenly cold, very cold, and you shiver as goosebumps cover your arms. You turn to talk to Hetty. She's gone. Watch that curiosity of yours, Ruth, comes a raspy voice from behind you. You spin around to see Gertrude, the town baker. What? You say. Where did you come? Stick to pranks and kissing silly boys, she says. Do not look upon foul things or gaze into the infinite darkness. Therein you will only find madness. You are at a loss for words. Your uncle has treated you to Gertrude's famous cinnamon rolls every summer since you were a little girl, and you never heard her talk like this before. A simple good morning or thank you was all she ever said. Lost in thought, you realize the whisperings are now echoing from within the well. It's a voice, but somehow you sense it's not human. Your eyes lock on the well, and it's hard to pull them away. Nothing moves. Managing to break your trance, you turn back to Gertrude. Gertrude is gone now, too. What do you do? So, we can either run, look into the well, or try to speak to it. Now, I'm going to take Gertrude's advice and try not to look through the well because we don't know what's going to happen. And I'm a little nosy. So I want to see what's going on. So we're going to try to speak to it. Oh, and look at that. We got a cool point. Oh. There's a creepy voice coming from that well. And so you're not sticking your head down there. Smart girl, Ruthie. You smart. But what's the harm in there in trying to have a little conversation? What are you, you ask? There's a pause. And then there are many voices at once in a language you don't understand. What do you want? You ask. More voices, but one stands out from the rest. You, I will wake forever prophecy, the voice groans. You're a brave one, comes a voice from behind you. Startled, you spin around. Hetty is standing there giving you her trademark smile. What? I'm sorry. What is her trademark smile? What is her smile supposed to look like? We chose you well, she says as she touches your arm. You feel a pulse of energy flow into you. It's time to wake up now. Be brave, but not reckless. Keep your head up, she says. I'm sorry. If you were my bestie, Hetty, I'd be asking you so many questions like, excuse me, what's going on? You awaken with a start. The bus has stopped with a shriek, a squeaky brakes. Just a dream, you tell yourself. But it felt like much more. You're on a bus that has taken you to nowhere. You sigh as you shake the sleep off and make for the exit. Pale dust coats your shoes as you lug your suitcase along the sandy road to your uncle's house on the outskirts of Marooners Point. The first day of summer, and here you are, at the most boring town on earth. Mother woke you early this morning. By the time you were awake enough to think, she had already packed you off to spend the summer with crazy Uncle John because, quote, nice girls don't need bad influences like that Hetty Saunders, end quote. You know what? That is such a stereotypical mom thing. I love it. I love it. Maybe she knows something about Hetty that, Ruthie don't know. Uncle John's two-story house perches at the tip of a small rocky peninsula, daring the ocean to sweep it away. The house seems to be winning the battle for now. An old mailbox leans near the porch steps, just a few degrees shy of falling over. Next to it, a narrow footpath cuts through the tall grass towards the back of the house. This might not be so bad, really. Uncle John can be a little odd, but he's never boring. You used to love spending summer here. You dump the heavy suitcase at the bottom of the porch steps and flex your fingers to get the blood flowing back. You're pretty sure your mother shoved a few bowling balls in the suitcase just to punish you further. You're a little earlier than expected, assuming Uncle John even remembers you were supposed to be visiting at all. You could explore around outside a little bit before you go in, or you could just bite the bullet and head into the house. If you're going in anyway, you might as well bring in the mail with you. What do we do? Hmm. Well, I kind of want to go explore, but that seems a little dangerous. Hmm. I don't know. Hmm. Hmm. Let's explore. Yippee! Knee high grasses brush against your skirt as you follow the narrow footpath around to the backyard. When you reach the corner, a familiar feeling returns, a certainty that the house will come crashing down at any second. You walk a little faster, just as you ever since you were 5 years old. Even though you've gone 11 years since then without being crushed by a house, you still can't help it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Ruthie, you're still a kid. And you went 11 years. 11 years without being crushed by a house. I have several questions. I have so many questions, but we'll ask them at a later time. The backyard is a little more than a small strip of grass between the house and the rocky shoreline, dominated by an overturned rowboat. The pleasant afternoon weathers give a clear view of the Cutler Key on the horizon. You've long since given up begging Uncle John to let you take the rowboat over to the island. This is the year you make the trip. With any luck, he won't even notice you've gone. As you turn to head back down the path, something on the back of the house catches your eye. A large A series of large, freshly painted red symbols mark the weathered gray wood. Even from a distance, looking at them makes the hairs on your arms stand up. You consider taking a closer look. On the other hand, you can always check them out later. Maybe after you've asked your uncle about them. What do you do? We go keep it pushing. We're gonna leave them. I'm good. Even on your most mischievous day, you've always felt that some things are best left alone. With the last suspicious glance at the symbols, you turn your back down the footpath toward the front of the house. The summer is off to a creepy start than usual, girly. And I'm pretty sure you got maybe a few months. Oh, Lord. Bless your heart, girl. The crooked, splintery railing around the porch is lined with seashells and wave smooth stones collected from the beach. In your experience, things that end up on the porch are usually forgotten completely. You retrieve the spare key from the planter full of dry brown flowers. Then you let yourself in. The inside of the house is as well kept as the outside is neglected. Polished walnut floorboards reflect the afternoon light from the windows. You walk down the hallway to the study, the house creaking around you like an old ship. As a child, you were certain that a wave would sweep it away. But after this much time, you think the house might just outlast the sea. Dang. You stop in the doorway to your uncle's study, and there he is, pacing his gray pepper hair, standing in all directions. The marks, Uncle John mutters. How did they? Did Lavinia tell them? No, no, she can't go through town. Could take the book. He looks up quickly, like a startled bird. Ruth! I hadn't expected. He frowns. Bother. Completely forgotten. You can't help but smile. Oh, no harm done. He barks out a laugh. No harm. You can't. This isn't the best time, I'm afraid. Uncle John ushers you back out of the study. If you hurry, you can still catch the bus back to Boston. Please give your mother my apologies. Hmm? An unfamiliar fear burns in his clever green eyes. With him, it's hard to know whether he's hung up on some strange idea or if something is really wrong. What do you do? Mm, I want to see if I can convince him. Let's try to talk to him. Wait, you say. What's going on? The island, of course, you know. Uncle John pushes his glasses up his long nose. Large smudges show on the normally clean lenses. My turn. That's all. There really isn't time for discussion. He steers you towards the front door, but shoves you out of it. Off you go. Wonderful seeing you again. Have a safe trip. Oh my gosh. He's like, "Bye. I don't want you to, so you're out of here. Bye-bye." The door slams behind you. You hear the lock turn, and then thunk of the deadbolt. Your mind turns to the spare key in the flower pot. One option is to unlock the door and let yourself in. Of course, you can knock and try to reason with your uncle. And then, of course, there's the option of just leaving. Your uncle isn't stupid, nor is he exactly crazy. Maybe you should do what he says. What do you do? Well, I would have loved to unlock the door, but he's smart enough to lock the deadbolt. I don't want to knock and disturb him after he'd have told me, get out of here. So I guess we're just going to leave. Once he's had time to calm down, Uncle John will probably let you back in. In the meantime, you should give him some space. You grab your suitcase and start back down the road to Moroner's Point. If you're lucky, you might catch the bus back home. This would be the perfect chance to spend the summer in Boston with your friends, provided your mother doesn't think some other relative you could visit instead. Bro, if my mom did that, I'd probably cry. By the time you walk the 2 miles back to town, 2 miles, girl, my Uncle John couldn't have given me a ride from the house. Well, they never say he had a vehicle, so never mind. By the time you walk the 2 miles back to town, the afternoon is turning golden, and your hands have gone numb from dragging the suitcase. You blow a stray lock of hair away from your eyes, then sigh when it just falls into place again. At least if you do decide to leave, you'll be glad you brought the suitcase with you. I suppose, Ruthie, I suppose. Marooner's Point usually sees its fair share of summer people late in the season. So right now it's practically a ghost town. Every time she visits, Mother goes on and on about the quaint 19th century charm, but as far as you're concerned, the town is just run down and outdated. I feel you, girl. I feel you. A cobble street leads you to the town square, where a dry fountain stands. The three-tiered fountain promises a beautiful display if only someone would turn it on. It's been dry for as long as you can remember. Hmm. As you enter the town square, a barrel chested man throws a contemptuous look your way and mutters something under his breath. By the wide brimmed hat and rubber boots, you guess he's a fisherman, like most people in this town. His eyes dare you to confront him. What do you do? Well, part of me wants to confront him because I don't like when people talk under their breath about me. Like, if you have something to say, then just say it to my face, you know? But we got to realize we're a little kid. And this man is probably 2 to 3 times our size. So I suppose we'll just ignore him for now. Whatever he said, you decide to let it slide. He looks pretty tough. And though you were in a fight once, it was with someone roughly your size. And you did come out of it all that well. The bus station lies across the square. Dang, Ruthie, baby girl, we gonna have to teach you how to fight. We gonna have to teach you. In past summers, you always wanted to leave this town out of boredom. Now It's the fear that drives you, which is ridiculous considering what a sleepy, peaceful town this has always been. It's not like the gang infested streets of New York that you've read about. Nevertheless, there's something creepy in the air, perhaps downright hostile. You hustle over to the bus station. A bronze bell jingles overheard as you enter the general store that doubles as Marooner's Point bus station. Meagerly stocked shelves, only about as tall as you, break up the long, dim room. The unvarnished floor creaks underfoot as you navigate through the crooked rows of canned goods to the old ticket counter at the back. You drop your suitcase before the well polished wooden counter, then shake the numbness from your fingers. Only a few seconds later, Mr. Davies, the store owner, hobbles over. The old man raises his eyebrows. How can I help you, miss? Want to Boston, you say. The last bus hasn't left yet, has it? No, not. Mr. Davies squints at you. Aren't you John Chilcott's niece? How do you answer? No, I'm sorry. Ah, mm, hmm. I don't want to lie to this old man because he seems nice. But at the same time, I don't know him. I personally don't know him. But the fact that you know my uncle's first and last name means that you vaguely know who I am. So I think we'll just tell the truth. It is what it is. You've known Mr. Davies for as long as you can remember, but you still have to reintroduce yourself every summer. Bro, he might have Alzheimer's, or he may just have a really crappy memory. That I can understand because I have crappy memory too. It sucks. You smile at him. That's right, Ruth. Mr. Davies casts a nervous glance at the door to the stockroom. The last bus left about 10 minutes ago. I don't trust it. Disregard everything I said. I don't trust them. I don't trust them at all. Mm-mm. You check the clock on the wall behind the counter. For as long as you've been visiting Marooner's Point, the last bus out of town has left around 6 o'clock. You should still have 15 minutes. If you want, you could question Mr. Davies further, or you could give up and go back to Uncle John's. I'm going to question him. Doesn't the last bus usually leave at 6? You ask. I should still have plenty of time. New schedule. He flashes an uneasy smile and jerks his head towards the door. Why don't you head on back to your uncle's house for now? You could catch the morning bus. I'll give you a discount. Nah, 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 nah. Because how all of a sudden y'all have a new schedule for the bus? Just this one time. I don't trust it. Mm-mm. You hear a shuffling footstep behind you. When you look over your shoulder, you see two men in the doorway to the stock room, listening in on your conversation. Mr. Davies smiles at you. Hurry back now. What do you do? Oh, he was trying to protect us. Okay, okay. Disregard what I said. Won't, don't. I still don't trust you at all, Mr. Davies, because you could be telling me what's going on in this town and you ain't saying nothing. So, nah. Imma keep you like 5 feet away. We can leave." Mr. Davies' anxious expression tells you everything you need to know. You glance over your shoulder at the two men. "All right," you say softly. "I'll come back tomorrow." Mr. Davies offers an empty smile. You hoist your suitcase and make your way out of the general area. He was lying about the bus. Girl, of course he was. You think as you pause in the town square, and everyone else is acting strangely. You sweep your hands behind you, half wondering if you have a sign stapled to your backside with some slur against the town written on it. Oh, no, no. There are a few pedestrians in the square. You meet the eyes of a woman and she turns away quickly, pulling her children along. Another man is giving you sidelong looks as he saunters by. Maybe it's my clothes, you think. After all, this is a pretty conservative town, and you're wearing a fedora like some kind of gangster. I love it. I love it. Maybe they don't appreciate you bringing your snooty big city fashion to their sleepy town. Maybe. But I don't think that's it, Ruthie. I don't think that's it at all. You take off your fedora and stash it in your suitcase. You begin to tie your hair back and then decide to just let it hang down like most of the girls do around here. You decide to take refuge in the library. People are quiet and nice in libraries. You can hide out there until your uncle calms down. I suppose. The Marooners Point Library is one large, musty room attached to the town hall. Bookcases crowd the space along a long table, their shelves filled, for the most part, with outdated fiction. Aw. The librarian, a short brown woman, is seated behind the desk near the center of the room. She slides her glasses down, regards you for a moment, and then nods slowly. You wave and smile. Slight lurch, she gets to her feet and then waddles to the back of the library and disappears. Because that's not creepy at all. Not at all. As you browse, you find a thin volume on Cutler Key. You take it down and flip through the pages. Near the middle, a heading catches your eye: The Sleeping God. This section discusses an old Wampango legend which describes the island as the resting place of a dangerous, powerful spirit. Mm, okay, okay. And maybe you and your family have something to do with it, Ruthie. Who knows? The afternoon light from the windows has turned a burning orange. There's no harm in giving Uncle John a little more time to keep to himself. You keep reading. In spite of warnings from the local natives, early settlers built a village on Cutler Key. The history of the village is not a pleasant one. Unalive, diseases, and the forbidden stuff. The settlement held out for 10 years before the survivors moved on. Oh my gosh. All that stuff was happening and y'all still decide disrespectful. No, no, no. All that stuff was happening and y'all knew about it. And y'all